Now here we will see how to measure the diameter of a wire with the help of a screw gauge. The first thing is take the screw gauge, find the least count and the zero error if there is any, and note it down. Second, now the ratchet, you have to turn it anti-clockwise. Now this ratchet is going to move clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. When you move it anti-clockwise, the gap between the stud A and the flat end B increases so that you can insert the object. And when you move it in the clockwise, the gap starts reducing so that the wire or the object which you want to measure gets tightened between the A and B of the screw. So always remember, the ratchet has got two type of movements. One is anti-clockwise and one is clockwise. Anti-clockwise to increase the gap so that you can put something in between, and clockwise is to tighten it. Now when you have tightened it, you have to note down the main scale reading. Now after noting the main scale reading, then on the circular scale, you have to see which division is coinciding with the base line. Multiply that division by the least count, you will get the circular scale reading. Now add this circular scale reading to the main scale reading what you had obtained. And you have to do it 2 times. You have to repeat it 2 times. How? First, if you are keeping the wire in the horizontal direction, okay, now you keep it vertically. Means first let it pass horizontally through the gap. Afterwards, you will make it pass vertically through the gap. And then you are going to take the 2 measurements. After that, again you change the position. Like instead of the middle of the wire, go to the tip of the wire. And again take perpendicular and horizontal measure. Okay. Because it may be that the wire is not uniform throughout. Okay, somewhere it is thick, somewhere it is thin. So we have to take so many readings, and at each position you will make it horizontal as well as you will make it vertical, and you will take down the readings. After that, if there is any zero error, then you are going to add that also. You know how to add it. The positive errors get subtracted and the negative errors get added, and after that you can find out your average value. The mean average diameter can be calculated by whatever readings you have got. Take the average of the readings, that is, add all the readings and divide it by the number of readings you have taken. So this is how you can find out the diameter of a wire using screw gauge. Now when you go further, you will unsolve sums, you will understand. So this completes your theory part of vernier calipers as well as screw gauge. Now after studying screw gauge, we will learn how to decrease the least count of the screw gauge. Now by formula you know that least count is equal to pitch upon total circular divisions, and you know pitch is the distance between the 2 threads of a screw gauge. So if you want to decrease the least count, you have to decrease the pitch, because pitch is in the numerator. You want a lower value for least count, then you have to lower the pitch, because least count is directly proportional to the pitch and it is inversely proportional to the circular divisions. So to decrease the least count, you can decrease the pitch or you will increase the circular divisions, the total number of divisions on the circular scale. So either of the two you can do, either you decrease the pitch or you increase the circular division. Now we will see what you mean by backlash error. Now in the screw gauge, what happens when we are rotating the thimble with the help of the ratchet? Most of the times the threads of the screw, they get damaged. Okay, we say damage means wear and tear of the threads, because we are always rotating and they are getting rubbed. So because of that they get damaged. So sometimes what happens when you are moving a screw, when you are reversing the direction, like right now you are doing anti-clockwise and suddenly from anti-clockwise now you are going to clockwise. Like you do anti-clockwise to increase the gap, you kept the wire and now you are going in the clockwise. So suddenly it will not change the direction. Accordingly, ideally what should happen, the moment you change the direction of rotation, even the screw should change, but that doesn't happen because it has got a bit damage. It takes a little time. After some time it will change the direction, and for some time it remains stationary. Now you are doing anti-clockwise, okay, it is going behind, gap is increasing. Now you started rotating in the clockwise direction, but it is now stationary, it is not moving. After some time it starts moving and coming closer. So this gap, this lapse of time is known as backlash error, because it will cause an error in your reading, because your rotation will become more. Suppose you have to rotate only once for coming closer. Now because of this backlash error you have to rotate twice, and that will change your readings. This is known as backlash error. And to avoid the backlash error, whenever you are taking the measurements, the screw should be rotated in one direction only. If it is required to change the direction of the rotation, then don't change it at once. Move the screw little further, still further, stop there for a while, and then rotate it in the reverse direction. Okay, you yourself wait for some time. If you are changing from anti-clockwise to clockwise, wait for some time and then change. Don't change immediately. Aadha idhar kiya and immediately you go. So that error will be recorded. So what you have to do? You have to wait for some seconds and then change the direction of your rotation. This will take care of the backlash error.